Cash time, baby. Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show live stream. Appreciate y'all being in here early. Got G-Bag already ready to go. Sarah, I'm assuming I'm saying that right. Sarah. Either way, I like it. What's good, Free Sauce? Good to have y'all in here. Got some of the usuals. Going to get some other folks in here as well. Got some people rolling in right now. So going to be throwing some bets that I put out. I was a little late today, y'all. I needed a little bit of a breather last night. We still did all right on the day there. Thanks to the live stream. Had Prop Bomb on yesterday. Got a lot of good picks in there. So I'm going to be riding solo today. You're going to be looking at some of the bets I already put in. And then obviously y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys got. We get those bets in while you're doing that. So I'm going to let people roll in and give those out here in a minute while I look at what we're going to have coming up next. So you'll see I'll be putting up what we're going to have next coming up here as well. Let me roll through some of my bets while y'all keep coming in. What's good, Mozzie? 36 Chambers. Got Larry Stone Cold. Dom D, a.k.a. Crank Zone. I forgot who you told me to look at already, bro. Will you remind me in the comments? Because I know you had a look for me already. Oh, I think this was it. McDaniels, first quarter, 2.5, plus 140. You've been sniping lately, fam. I don't know what you're looking at here, but you've been sniping some good picks lately. What's good, Blossom? Oh, hell yeah. Nice. Philippines up in the house. Jokic under 28.5. We could take a look at it. Let me put some more Denver stuff. I feel like I have most of my stuff with Denver, that game here right now. I appreciate it, the letting it slide on the 1 minute late. I've been more than that before. What's up, Diego and C Sims in here too? Conley rebound, man, that's been hitting, has it not? Let me put it in here. I'll take a look at that. I'm gonna put Joker in here as well. Put points. We can look at PRA too. I know that was talked about. And then Conley rebounds. That's been coming at me a bunch because I know it's green on Conley rebounds right now. So I'll take a look at that for sure. Quick reminder about the Discord. If y'all aren't in there, link is in the video description. If you want to jump in there, got most of the people that are in the Discord right now up in there too. So happy Friday, Aramis. What's good? Oh, a team total bet. You know, I do love team total bets. Coming in from Curtis Johnson. Let's see, 114.5 for the Indy team total. Seems pretty doable. I think you might as well take the whole game at that point. I don't see Indy shutting down New York like that. So we'll put Indy TT in here, but we should also look at the full game total in that one with the Knicks. So we'll go Indy TT and we'll go with NYK, or just the over game total, which is over 222 now, I believe, in that one, as that thing has gone comfortably over, yet they continue to leave that that total up pretty low. We got to look at Brunson assists. The only thing that scares me for Brunson assists, Free Sauce, is like, one, obviously it's at 6.5 now. The more it keeps dropping and he keeps kind of hanging around 5 and 6, the scarier it gets. He had 5 last game and obviously missed a bunch of time. The injury is the other part that scares me a little bit by it, but I'll put it in here because I don't have any Brunson. I have one Brunson bet kind of, but you have to have DraftKings, which I don't, everybody doesn't have necessarily access to. But let's put this one up before the Joker bets. We'll try to get these Knicks and Pacers bets in because we'll have a little bit more time with that being the early start. Hold up here quick. Brunson, we'll look at assists for him. Got Jokic in here already. So here's what we got so far. What's up, yo. This one is interesting. I'm glad you brought this up, Mozzie, with Rudy. I'm going to put him in here too because, like, stats aside, I was like, man just had a baby. We know what Mike would say in one of Mike's rants. If man just had a baby, then you got to go over on his stuff. I think that worked in the last couple of bets Mike threw out there. We'll see if he's able to join the stream and let me know what he thinks about Rudy. But my thing with Rudy too is, like, I don't know, if you want to play the spite game, like everybody was talking trash on him, like not everybody, but some people came out with some silly arguments that he should have missed the birth of his child so he could play in game 2, that his team won by like 30, by the way. So that was a terrible take that aged poorly over time. If you thought that Rudy shouldn't be present for his child, he should be there for his teammates. That's Gil Arenas too, just being Gil Arenas. What do you want me to say, man? Gil's going to do Gil. That's why they call him No Chill Gil for a reason. And I love Gilbert Arenas, honestly, but that was a silly ass take that seemed forced. I mean, I know he's got kids. He's whatever. We'll move past it. Might have to do Brunson on the PRA. Let's look at all the Brunson stuff. We got Daryl talking about a triple-double for Jokic and some threes and TJ McConnell overs and Obi overs, Indy money line, Indy team total. Okay, Daryl's got some bets in here. We're already taking a look at a good amount of that. Let's see about Naz Reid. Let me put him in here too while you guys are jumping in. I'll throw him in there. Naz is like half the battle. So Naz PR we'll put in there. I think it's 10.5 for the points now. Got a couple other in there. Dallas is talking about steals for Hartenstein. Yeah, I'm done going under on pretty much every Knick at this point, except for maybe when Brunson gets his lines all the way up at what they're at. But if you're talking about Hartenstein, DiVincenzo, who am I forgetting? I mean, who's left on this freaking team at this point? Those dudes, especially those three, I can't really subscribe to unders anymore for those dudes, knowing how many minutes they're going to play. Tibbs is just going to keep running them into the ground. I know a lot of y'all probably already saw this, but here's where I'm at, just so you don't even need to ask if you don't want to. These are scrolling on the bottom line if you need them. So this is where they'll be all show, and then I'll keep adding stuff to the bottom line. But got to go back to Ant, man. I mean, come on, dude. Like, if you look at Ants, it's just all green. And it's a little bit of just like playoff Ant time for me more than anything. I don't need to see too much more to know that he's either going to be passing or scoring. That's really just what he does now. I can't get over it. If they do force him, like force the double teams at him, which they should, because KCP is not healthy, then he's still good to either get around him or find the open man. So I just put them both together. You can take just the points at 27.5. I like that better than just the assists. I do think he's going to keep just dominating. I don't think there's a recipe outside of him taking 23 field goals that leads to the Timberwolves being able to handle this team like they have been. So we'll keep going back to Ant right now. Points and assists, that's going to be an auto enter probably until they get it up high. 33.5 PA when he's averaging 38.2 in his last 10 playoff games. Come on, man. That's just absurd. I got to go with the fade of Murray. I know Buddy Irons, VIP member now in the Discord, has this bet up as under assists only with Jamal Murray. No problems with that. That's part of what I like. But to be honest, like, I just don't think he can do both. I think if he gets like 8 dimes, probably looking at like 17, 18 points, to be honest. The ball's in his hands a good amount, but it's going to be in Joker's hands in the post spot and post up for Joker. That's going to be what we see a lot of in this series continuing forward. In game 1, that was the case. Game 2, there was no Rudy, so everything was a little different, but that's a big deal right there. This is one that I like for Kyle Anderson to go under slow-mo because of the fact that he was playing so much in game 2 as the sort of backup center who just took over starting for this T-Wolf squad. So, right, like this minutes aren't going to be there for him. If you look at the minutes now with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you got Cat coming off the Cat there, and Naz Reid coming off the bench. There's just no more minutes for homie here. So like if you put him at 15 minutes as his ceiling, which is what I got him at 15, 16 minutes in that range, then he's going under. That's what he's done 5 of 6 this season. And I don't like the matchup for him on the second unit. So I don't even think he gets very much second unit run as a result. I mean, he played 16 minutes in game 1. And he wasn't a good. He had to guard Michael Porter Jr. That's not a good matchup. That dude relies on just shooting over people and being bouncy to the rim, right? And I don't think Kyle Anderson's quick enough. I know he's not. His freaking nickname is Slow Mo for a reason. So I don't think that's a good matchup for him. He's better when he can bang with somebody strong down low a little bit more rather than that. For Aaron Gordon, Rudy's back. This is also going to impact him. These are all the Denver bets I'm getting to real quick. Rudy being back means he's on Aaron Gordon. He shut him down entirely in game 1. He only got off 2 shots while Rudy was guarding him in that game. A few minutes that he wasn't, but for the most part, Rudy's his matchup. Cat on Joker. I'm going careful with some Cat stuff now. He can score in like real quick in spurts, right? Like Cat is somebody that will be able to score, but I think you stay away from his rebounds in this one with everybody back, especially Rudy. That said, he's going to be guarding Jokic. That's why. So with Rudy on Aaron Gordon, right, just not going to be there for the attempts, the rebounds, 6.5 rebound chances in this series, including last series. And part of that is the Wolves shooting so well. This Denver defense has not figured out how to keep them out of the paint, and they are dominating down there on both sides of the floor. So there's not going to be as many chances for Ago in this one. I'm going with Hartenstein. If you want to play the assist at 3.5, it's all the way juiced down. I'm taking everything because he's playing 40 minutes tonight. And I think Precious props are now up. I'm going to put Precious in here as well because I want to get him up on the board and take a look at Precious stuff. But he's going to be in there as the only other backup. If we see Jericho Sims, I might cancel my fandom as a Knick. We cannot. We just won't be able to survive Jericho Sims minutes. Maybe he would have to play completely out of his gourd and just way better than he's played so far this year. Let me put I've already forgot I was put in here. Precious. We need to make sure we get Precious in there. Got me all worked up talking about freaking Jericho Sims getting minutes in a playoff game. We cannot have that. We're in trouble if that's the case. I'm pretty sure anybody who watched the Knicks this season would agree with me. Hartenstein, though, great bet. Points, minutes, rebounds, assists. It's all going to be there for him. They are going to force the ball to JB's hands. We got to see what happens. They're going to play mixed coverage. Sometimes it's double teaming Jalen Brunson. Sometimes it's making it's not. It's just playing off of him and guarding everybody else. Hartenstein's going to be his outlet either way. He's going to be one of the first passes he's able to make every time because he's running up with that pick and roll, right? So lots to like about Hartenstein moving forward with the way he's played, bro. He's looked like, incredible as a passer and everything. Could not be more proud of our guy. And this bet is for those who have DraftKings. This is a head-to-head bet, and I'm really liking those. I'll show you how to find those real easy, but there is a H2H tab that you can get up on DraftKings, and I believe that's the only place that has it, but it's a really solid place to find some pretty good value. You get plus money for Hallie to score more threes in this one than Jalen Brunson. So that's what all this means is Halliburton, one more three-pointer made than Jalen Brunson in this game. 8.2 attempts in this series versus Brunson 5.8, and that includes the season. So that's a 5-game sample right now between these two. Plus, that mirrors what they did during the regular season. I mean, JB took about 6.8 on total during the regular season, but even against the 76ers, that number drops. So the playoffs is different. He's trying to get to the line, which he has done as well as anybody, including Joel Embiid, right? He's now got the most points, most free throw attempts. He's hitting that mid-range at will. So he's going to keep going closer and closer to the basket, not shooting those threes. Hallie, we know that he took a step up from game 1 to game 2, where he took 6 shots in game 1. Game 2 comes back and takes like 19 shots, including 11 threes in there. So I've got him closer to 11 than I do to like 3, right? Which is what he took earlier. And I got Brunson at 5 3-point attempts. So Brunson's taking 5, Hallie's taking 8 to 9, where I haven't projected. Then we're still good to just on that alone. I take the plus 114 for Hallie to get more threes than him in this game. So those are what we got. Everything running on the bottom line. Like I said, I'm going to bring up my screen now and start looking at some of the bets that you guys want to look at. Let me pull up my correct stuff here real quick, and we'll get into that. But yeah, if you are new still, go ahead and jump into the comments with a bet you want to look at, and I'll show you exactly how I might be playing that if I like it. Sometimes I steal y'all's bets and jump onto them with you when I like them. So we'll get them there. Let's see real quick. What's good, Yoshua? Got Jabba the Hutt in here. What's good, man? You want to talk about Brunson assists? We'll look at that for sure. No good. No problem, bro. You got relax and take care. That's a good name. Sorry, just got here. What's your total on Pacers prediction today? I'll take a look at that in a minute because we got the team total up as a bet that people want to look at already. Oh, no. I gotta look at. You're gonna make me look at Ben Shepherd again. Is Ben Shepherd gonna hit his threes and keep going unconscious? Oh, then great. Then Ben Shepherd is a bet. But I can tell you right now, I'm probably gonna look at Ben Shepherd, and I don't know that there's anything that's gonna tell me that he's gonna get more playing time than he's gotten. So then we're just still looking at how does he compare with these amount of stats. And if he's shooting unconscious, then yeah, he's gonna look really good. But if he's not, I don't know. Let me see. We do have an Isaiah Jackson look in here as well from C Sims. We could take a look at that. I'll put him in there. Oh, and I got to put Siakam in there as well. Let's see. Conley over threes. Pacers minus 7.5. We should talk about the side as well in there. Let me just put everything on here so I don't forget stuff. This is the only way I remember because I got ADD coming out the ass. All right, we got the Indy minus 7. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about that for me with Indy minus 7 is if Indy runs away with this thing, that's just as likely as like a close game favors the Knicks. Let me put it that way. If it is close, then, you know, the Knicks are more likely to pull it out as they've been a way better fourth quarter team all playoffs and in this series. So that's where I'm at with the close game. But if Indy runs away with this thing, which means they're hitting a lot of threes and they're the team that's really dominating on offense, like it's their style of play where things go over, then yeah, then when you play those big overs and this total could be up at about 235, 240, 250 like it was last game, now you got a little bit more room for the team like them to win. So let's see. I'm going to start putting stuff up as I share my screen. I also got Siakam as a look in here. We're basically just going to look at everybody, bro. So I'll just put Siakam in here so I can at least have some semblance of order, and we'll keep it going. All right, so I'm going to pull up the Indy New York game right now and start sharing this stuff, and we'll get into it right here. Sharing this. Quick reminder. Also, I didn't mention props.cash. That's what I'm going to be using right now. So if you do not yet have a props.cash account, highly recommend it. This is the platform right here. You probably at the very least seen all the green bar charts that people like to put up when they talk about their bets on Twitter and whatnot. So that's what we're rolling with right now to kind of find all these bets for ourselves, right? Let me make sure this is up on the screen for y'all fully. Hold up. There we go. It's a little bit easier to see. All right. So first one I'm looking at here, I do want to look at that team total for Indy. Let's look at a couple of things when I'm looking at team total, obviously. So I'm just going to start with the box score. I'm going to go to StatMuse and just do Pacers last 2 games. In fact, let's do Pacers last 8 games because that's been all their playoff games. So if the team total is 114.5 or so, right, they've done that in 6 of the 8, obviously, and then both against New York as this pace has been pretty high. Let's do Pacers pace game log last 8 games, so I can see the pace of each game too. So now I got the pace up right here. And these two with the Knicks, 95, and this went all the way down to 91.5, but nobody played any defense, and the shooting was real crisp, obviously. 51% from the field, 44 for this squad for the Pacers. If I go into the game log, Knicks shot even better, 57%, 46% from three. Like, how long can that last? I don't know how long that can last for both these teams. Maybe they're just good matchups on offense for each other. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah. Prop Bomb was on it yesterday. I really appreciate having him on here, not just for his looks, but we get into the nitty gritty, man. He's a really good dude to have on here. Also want to get Modai on here, but he's busy, moving and being on Kyle Kerms' show. So what do you want from me? The team total, I would still lean over though for the Pacers. Like, this Knicks team has got to just be getting crushed. Let me go to the Knicks page real quick and show you what else I would look at, which is like essentially how much the Knicks players are playing. That's going to be a big problem now as they continue to just get run to the ground. So what happens to Tibbs teams, man? Like, if you just look at all the teams that Tibbs has coached, this is what happens when they get in the playoffs. These dudes just get run into the ground rather. And then that really they struggle from there. So if I look at the postseason minutes for all these dudes real quick, Josh Hart is averaging a full game, essentially. 47, 42 for Brunson. He's hurt. Now we got no Anunoby. So DiVincenzo's probably going to be at about 40. Hartenstein's going to be at 40. McBride probably about 25. And then Precious about 20 to 25. And God help us if we get Alec Burks minutes. So that's where we're at as a Knicks squad right now, who's been playing. So yeah, I think they're going to tire out. I would be a little bit cautious with the total just because of the fact that these teams have been shooting so well. There's got to be some aggression at some point. But if you're playing a side here, or excuse me, playing the total, I don't know how you could possibly go under in this matchup with these two teams. Let's do Pacers versus Knicks this season. It's not going to be 1-to-1. Like, there were players missing throughout the regular season when these two teams faced off, but that didn't matter. So in this series, yeah, pretty clean the over, except for that one at New York. There was a bunch of people missing. You can see who's playing for each squad. This was a different team entirely. You had Buddy Hield playing on this team. Not entirely, but it was still different. You're going to get a lot different look here in this game. Nembhard didn't even start in this game. That's a big difference. And then, yeah, there was no Mitch Robb. There was no OG yet in this game. So it might actually look a little bit like this one. So this is the one that would actually be the best use case for this particular matchup tonight, is this game with these players. This one went comfortably under, but if you look at the team stats, right, like 39% from the field, 45% from the field. For those teams, 21-39. So they're going to be closer to what they've been doing these playoffs, is what I would imagine, the way these teams have been shooting well against each other. Not great matchups on both ends of the floor. Like, there's advantages to the offenses on both ends. So I lean over. Let me get into these player props, though. And if you are going to take a side, if you're just going to take the minus or plus the actual spread, 7.5, like my lean is still to go with New York. The only thing that scares me about even taking it is if it's a 4 or 5 point game in the fourth quarter, Knicks go down, 3 free throws, boom, 8 isn't that scary for the Pacers, the way that they play with speed. So I lean towards the team that is getting points in this series continuously because they've been so closely matched. But you got to be careful with the way that these things can come to a close and just sort of screw you at the end. If you take like any team to win by 1-10 bet, that might be a good look as well. You can find that on like different places like DraftKings and what have you. You can find this team to win by 1-10 points. I like those because you usually get pretty good money on that as well. So if we go to game lines inside of here, I want to make sure I can find this easy. Either team to win by 1 or 10. Let me go to game props real quick, but that's going to be, I believe, where you find it. So if you go to game props, you can go down all the way. This is all these race ones. It should be here, should it not? No, they make you scroll so far. Wire to wire, bruh. But I'm pretty sure it's down here. Yeah, you can get winning margin and stuff like that. But yeah, this is going to be all the way at the bottom. You can find either team to win by 1-10 points. And I think that's a pretty good look. So keep that in mind with if you like this spread to stay close. If you think the Pacers are going to blow it out, like, yeah, -7.5 shouldn't scare you with the way that they can score points in a hurry. And if they just run the Knicks out the gym, man, that would be my strategy. Obviously, bring in TJ, play everybody, and just keep going. I think this one is ripe for them to win. I would prefer to put like a money line bet in there for them alongside other parlay pieces if you wanted that for the Pacers. But this feels like the Pacers game, to be honest with you. So I'm staying away from supporting the Knicks, honestly, too tightly. Let's get into some of these bets. All right. So the team total for Indy, it's correlated to the over. If you're going to take the over for Indy, I still just think you take the over for the game. I don't see them winning by like 30 necessarily. Obviously, the way that bet gets screwed up is 120 to 95 or whatever, right? That would obviously screw them, but I can't see the Knicks giving up like that and getting just railed like that. But I also don't see them winning this one. So do with that what you will. Let's look at Brunson assists, because that's what we're talking about. So here's one thing to look at for Brunson assists. Obviously going under pretty consistently. If you look at his numbers against this team, man, when it was at 9.5, even 8.5 to start the series, got under 8.5 or plus money earlier. That's beautiful. But if you want to look at his assist prop, it's dropped precipitously, right? It's now 6.5. And obviously the implied probability is way higher on the over. If you look at him during the regular season overall, he averaged 6.9. Nice. So that does make you go, all right, 6.9 in 36 minutes a game. His per 36 are there, and he's going to play 40 tonight. The potential assists last game, let's look at that real quick, because the potential assists are not that low for Brunson against this squad. 15 in game 1, only 7 in game 2, but obviously really efficient with it. And more importantly, how many minutes did he end up with in game 2? He played 32 in game 2. So add 10 minutes to that. And if you do that math real quick, 7 in 32 minutes is going to be basically like 4.5. Every 4.5 minutes, he gets a potential assist. Right. So add at least 2 potential assists to the time that he missed. You're at 9 potential assists now. For him to get 7 on 9, still pretty unlikely, but it's probably going to be closer to 11 potentials. That's about what he gets against this team. So with 11 potential assists, you're talking about 7, right? So let's do that. Let's put this at what we assume it's going to be for the potentials. And I'll do it for the season. 11 to 15 seems like a reasonable amount of potential assists. Let me do it for the season, though. So if we move these potentials up to 11 to 15, oh, good. The filter held. Thank you. The filter held finally. He's averaging 7.2 when he gets 11 to 15 potentials. Now let's move the minutes to 36 to 40. So 36 to 40 minutes. And I'll probably put this at 42. It's Tibbs. So right here, it's another example, right? There's been 23 games where he had 11 to 15 potentials, and he had 36 to 42 minutes, which is what I'm projecting for him tonight. In those situations, over in 70%, still at about 7.2. It's just at the edge to the under, it's not quite there. If we use these numbers as what we can project for him tonight, let's see what that does. I'm going to pull up my handy dandy player prop tool real quick and get that up so we can put these numbers in, because I need to do a better, and it's tough for me to do this as much with guests because I want to keep the show going. But when I have my time and I'm able to take my time, then I like to be able to bring this up. So this is linked in the description of the video, as well as in the Discord. If you're not in there, link to that is in the description of the video too. So as it's pulling up, this is what I'm using to make sure that the price is worth it with the projections that I'm giving him, right? So I'll show you what that means real quick. Let me make this a little bit bigger for everybody. Go up to 150. So I'm going to put Brunson in here, and I'm going to put his prop at 6.5. Sorry, this is assists, 6.5. And I'm looking at the under odds are they're plus 108, right? The over odds are minus 132. So in a minutes average here of, let's give him the, how many is average when he plays that many minutes I just gave him? He plays 38.3. So let's make the minutes average 38.3. because we're using this sample size of when he gets this amount of time with these amount of potential assists. The prop average is 7.2, and the expected per minute is then about the amount of assists per minute he's getting is 0.18 or 0.2, right? Projected minutes tonight, we're going to put him at 42. I think that's fair. And so if you got the probabilities right now, you can see that the probability to the over is much higher. Let's put in the odds, though, to see if we still have an edge. And if you want we want this edge to be 10% if we're going to go with it. So what I'm going to do is pull up my Action Network calculator real quick to get the odds. I'm gonna put in minus 132, and I'm gonna see that's 57%. So that means the book probability of the under, they're giving him to the over is a 50% likelihood that he gets the over. And if we put in the plus 108, that means books are giving you this a 48% chance of implied probability of being likely to happen. So that means that the edge is to the over, right? That's kind of the point I was trying to make here, is like with the price at what it's at, plus minus 132 is still an edge to the over, even though it's worse juice than the plus 108, right? So all this is doing is saying the book is telling us their implied probability is 48% that it goes under, is 57% that it goes over. And the edge is telling you, even though we lose juice for taking the over, with a 57% likelihood of happening, it's still worth it because it's better than a 10% edge. So I know I'm doing hood math with y'all right now, but a better than 10% edge is a good bet. It doesn't mean you make it, it just means that's the minimum percentage edge that I would need to actually place a bet on this. All right. So that's what we're saying there. I'm passing on Brunson because I still don't want to take the over, but I would definitely be going over before under. That's me. And all the green and red that he's had against this team, be damned. Even when he's played 11, had these 11 to 15 potential assists and gone 36 to 42, which has happened 3 times this season. It hasn't even happened in the playoff series yet. How is that possible? That's crazy. I guess it hasn't happened yet in the playoffs. Interesting. I thought it would have happened, but it didn't. So either way, during the regular season, we still see what happens in that situation. So I'm passing on that. The points, it just got a little crazy, but like, bro, still like 32 minutes and 29 points. I mean, this is a better over than it is under. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you can't be taking under on Brunson. And like I said, all these other dudes are gonna be on the floor so damn much that that's just where I'm at. So let's see. I'm gonna get to a couple others here. I'm passing on the Brunson, but like I said, I hope I can at least like help you with the decision of over or under based on the edge that you do or don't get from these books, which I just told you about. So moving on, I'm gonna take a couple of these off since we're good on them. Everything is still scrolling on the bottom line though. If you want to know what we bet, I'm gonna tell you what these leans are. So let me put a little leans here on the bottom so that y'all know what we looked at already. So leans, if you want them. Because I think that's a little bit helpful too. I would take over in the total of the game, over 222. That's where I'm at with the total. More than the Pacers team total, more than anything like that. I just like over for the game, 222.5. That's my one lean. The other lean is going to be I actually lean to the over on Brunson's assists. I just want to put that out there in case people are looking at it. Look, you take under Brunson assists, you're doing something that's happened very consistently. It's not stupid in and of itself, but the matchup and the way that I see Brunson playing with a hobbled foot where you can't cut as easy, you can't get to the rim as easy, etc., then I'm still just going to take him a slightly tired Brunson, man, who needs a couple of days off, to be honest, to go under. So I lean under this. Over the 6.5 assists because I can't get next to the points right now. So I'm putting that in the bottom line as a lean. And then we can move on because I'm not going to keep going through these. Let's see here. Let's look at Precious because honestly, like I want that to be a bet for real. Unless I find something that tells me otherwise, I think that's a pretty good play. Unless they did, let's see what the line is because they might have actually like gotten a little bit better at predicting what Precious is going to do in this game. So is Precious available? Come on, dog. No Precious in my life right now. Let me see if this. Let me just go right to DraftKings for a minute and see if they have anything up for Precious Achiuwa. Achiuwa points. Can I get those yet? No, bruh, that's super weak. I mean, there's nobody that we don't know about playing. I guess they're just not giving us some backups here and there. But let me, damn, if anybody gets Precious stuff, let me know because I want to get that. I know how weird that sounds if anybody gets Precious stuff, but you know what I mean. Let me at least pull up my prop finder and do a little bit more due diligence. If I pull up Precious on here, is he going to have props or nah? Nah, he doesn't. You can get him to score the first field goal. Eat my fucking dick. Excuse my language. So yeah, let's move past it and get into somebody else real quick. Pulling up, what do we got up here? Ben Shepherd. Is that really what we're looking at next? Let me go to Siakam at least so I have a starter that I can look at. What I was telling people in the Discord earlier for Pascal is that Pascal is like so consistently at the same number. And if we see his prop at 19.5, where you at, Pascal? If we see Pascal's prop at like 19.5 or lower, but lower than 19.5, then it's oftentimes a bet for me to the over. If we see Pascal at 20 to like 19 to 20, 21.5, it's right in what the range of what he like hits consistently, right? So of the 88 games he's played this season, let me see how many he had. Where the points at? Let's do it this way. Of that many, let me see his points. That's minutes. Can I get points, please? Is it like it's all the way down here. This is stupid. So I look at his points. Let me put him at let's see. What I was saying is about 19 to 21. How many times did he score 19 to 21 points this season? Taking a look at it, it looks like 15 games. All right, not as many as I would have thought. I thought it would have been a lot closer, but in the last 30, it's still gonna be 15 of the last 30, right? So this is a pretty like half the time he's scoring between 19 and 21 points in the last 30, and that's with the Pacers. I should be specific too, right? So he's playing this with the Pacers and not the Raptors, where it's a little bit different. But this is a really consistent number for him to hit. So that's why it's tough for me to play anything in between 19 to 21 for him. He's got to get 22. I'm not sure how we find an edge for that because homie has been taking way fewer shots. So look at these numbers to start the playoffs. And that's just going to be in part because he had Brook Lopez on him. And that was what I talked about in the last, this is the Chicago game too, where he had whoever was guarding him in that game. Who was even playing? Torrey Craig? Like who was even available for the Bulls? But this 17 points right here, that's when Bobby Portis started guarding him. Now we put him in this series, and in this series, he had OG guarding him. So now we're a little bit stuck because if OG was still guarding him, this would probably, first of all, be at 19 or 20 and a half. But it's gone up, right? Which is crazy because he just had a bad game. So let me show you one thing using the betting pros tool here, which shows you recent numbers. So you can see yesterday's price is not today's price. And I'm pulling up Pascal and pulling his recent lines up, right? So if I look at the points, it's minus 125 to go over, fam. And like this 21 point prop. So he went up against he dominated the Hawks here. And there's a Bulls game in here. They didn't count for it, but then it was at 22, 24, 26. He went over against, like I said, Brook Lopez. Then they boosted it all the way to 26. And now it's drop. And in these games, it was right around 19 and a half, 20 and a half. And I show you that to say, do you think there's a huge difference between OG being in or not being in? Like, do you think OG was the reason he went under these lower numbers last couple games? That's a little bit different. You know, that's tough to project there. But if I had to guess his matchup now, I guess wouldn't Precious be starting? Did the Knicks not announce their lineup yet? I don't understand why we wouldn't have why wouldn't Precious be starting? And yeah, we don't have the starting lineup yet announced, but I got to imagine if I'm looking at this Knicks lineup real quick, let me go to the squad real quick. If I'm looking at these Knicks lineups, like, I mean, there's no one else. You have to start Precious Achiuwa. Otherwise, you're talking about guarding him with Josh Hart. And now you're putting Josh Hart on Pascal, who's got like 4 or 5 inches on him. Yeah, that's tough. Like, I think he's probably going to be in a good position to score. The problem with Pascal is going to be his field goal attempts. And that's what's kept me away from him more than anything, is that his field goal attempts just dip, right? Now he's all the way down 50. In this series, he's had 17 field goal attempts per game. If you look at the amount of free throws he's getting, it's not very many. He's no longer hitting threes, by the way, either. Should keep that in mind. Like 1 3 is what you can bank on. But for the free throw attempts right here, in this series, he's averaging 3. So he's really not getting to the line at all, which means that ain't going to be pretty helpful, right? Like I need to know that he's going to be able to get some easy buckets. He's working really hard for those buckets. And even at 18 field goal attempts, he makes half of them. He's at 18. We're okay now. If you think he's going to be at like half his field goals, I think that's an okay look. But let me just put him into the model real quick. So let's use playoff data as what we can use for him. So he's at 20.9 points per game in 37 and a half minutes. I think that's still what he plays tonight, right? So if I'm gonna put his numbers in here and see if there's anything for Pascal. Putting points in here for Pascal at 21.5, and I saw you can get 20 and a half in there. I appreciate you throwing that in the chat. Whoever just threw that in there, that's super helpful. C Sims was saying you can get Siakam 20 and a half on Bet365. So if you're trying to take an over, for sure get on a shop those lines and don't just be taking one book and running with it. Make sure you have multiple books so you can get the best price possible. But let's put him at 21 and a half because I believe that was 365. Not everybody has Bet365. It's a pretty common book these days, to be honest. But the under for him is 115. That looks to be the best number on 20. Oh, now it's 21 and a half most spots. Yeah. But 20 and a half on Caesars too, potentially. Let's take minus 115 and minus 105 for the 21 and a half. All right. Minus 115 for the under, I believe. I want to make sure I got that right. Yeah. Minus 115 to the under, minus 105 to the over. Minus 105 to the over. Minutes average 37.5. These are his playoff numbers. Prop average 20.9, right? I think you still got to project him at about, I can't give him much. It's an all hands on deck game. So let's give him 38 and be kind and give him an extra 30 seconds on the floor. Projection, if you just extrapolate his previous playoff numbers, that puts you at a 21.1 number, right? This is right on it for him. If you look at the book probability under, we said that was minus 105. So my odds of minus 105 are going to say that's implied probability of 51%. If you take the the under was minus 115 was the under. Let me make sure I got that right. Hold up. Minus 105 is going to be the over probability. So this is the over. The under is going to be minus 115, which gives us 53%. I'll even give him, I'm going to give him 53%. I should be giving 54 at times, but there's no edge either way. This is about as a 50-50 of a bet as you could possibly imagine. And that's why I just stay away from Pascal points tonight. I'll look at his rebounds real quick. Street Cred brought it up, and I think we got to look at it anyway. What's good, fam? So I'll put up his rebounds, right? We're at 7.5 now, minus 124 to the over. Looks like this was a popular over, because there's some 8.5s hanging out there. Let me put it in here to see if all these numbers are accurate in props.cash. Looking at his boards, minus 128, but then there are some 8.5s hanging if you wanted better juice, that kind of thing, right? So the rebounds, let's look at it real quick. The stuff for Pascal, I'm gonna pull up Courtside Pal real quick. I already know what's gonna happen on Courtside Pal. That's not gonna be helpful in this one. Courtside Pal is a really good tool for looking at player stuff, but I'm not going to look at it right now because it's going to use season data that isn't helpful. Let's look at his rebound chances in the playoffs real quick. I got playoffs still selected. I'm going down to rebound chances. Thank you, props.cash, for putting this on the platform. 16 last game to get 9. 9, 12, 9. This is, man, I mean, Milwaukee was missing hella shots, but this is crazy that his rebound chances just drop like that. Obviously, it was a little bit easier to rebound. That's crazy. I don't know what would be the reason that this just dropped so much from 16. And now we can expect a lot closer to this. I mean, I feel like these are a little bit more accurate to what he was on the season. Let me just look at that real quick. On the season, Pascal's rebound chances were at 11.1. And let's do the last 30 games even. And in that time with the Pacers here, so this is all with the Pacers, 8.4, going over 63% of the time on the 7.5, which is nice because of the 8.4 average. The rebound chances with this team have been about 13, so a little better than they were with the Raptors when he was on their squad. So 13 though to get 8 if you're looking for the over. 13 rebound chances to get 8, and his rebound chance success was 75%, or a little bit worse. What's 8.4 divided by 12.8 is going to be about 65% success rate on his rebound chances. So how many do you put him at tonight? It's one way to look at it, right? If we put him at what I just said on in this series, he had the one that was 16. I don't really know what you would attribute that to. More than anything, there's not much to look at there. But if you look at the head-to-head, so he had 16 to get 9, but then in the other games in the playoffs as a whole, we're talking about an average of about 14, including these 4 seemingly bloated games, honestly, right? Like, it feels like he's going to be a little bit closer to right here, and 8 is what you would put him at as about his projected number right there. I don't know why you'd give him a few more looks in this game. If you give him 13 rebound chances, but we're putting him at closer to 12. So this is a pass for me on the boards for Pascal. The other thing is, like, the Knicks have been shooting lights out. At some point, they got to slow down, don't they? Let me just go to the game log for these two teams real quick and pull that up. I'm going to go to NBA.com. I want to look inside of the game log real quick if my fat fingers could type. NBA.com. I'm getting into this, bro. I'm getting into it. Wait, Precious is out, bro. Did I miss that? When did he get hurt? And how come they didn't announce that? Anybody? What am I missing? Why I didn't even see him get hurt in that last game. Did I just block it out? Is anybody confirming that for me? Let's see real quick. I'm pulling up the official NBA injury report. Link to that is also in the video. Why are you telling me Precious is out, bro? Someone help me understand that. If that's a late deal, then let me know. But I'm not sure what you're talking about in there. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, Precious is not out. Thank you. Quit lying in the chat. I need to help you guys, not the hurt. All right, I'm just playing with you unless you were being a dick about it. So with Precious in, I mean, that just leads me to go under more so than anything. Precious is going to be a better rebounder than OG is going to be, and you're just going to have more bigs in there to contend with. So yeah, because you're going to see some two big lineups with Precious and Hartenstein. So Pascal is a lean on the under for the boards than anything. So yeah, let me add that to my leans for now. But this is going to be a close number as well. Let me see if there's any projections I could use for Pascal to like help me get there, but I don't really think so because this has been all over the place. His average, so he's averaged in the playoffs. He's looking at over in 5 of 8, but 4 of them were the first 4, and there's a different team. This is a different team. not enough there. There's nothing to really use to project it. So I'm going to move past Pascal on the rebounds. Just let you know the lean is towards the under on that one. We'll see if them leans be leaning tonight. Let's get Siakam out of here for a minute, and I can move this too, or you looked at it on the coming up. Man, y'all are still making me look at Ben Shepherd. Damn you and your Ben Shepherd, Dom D. We got to look at it, bro. We're going to look at it. Oh, and you won't let me forget this. I appreciate it. And let me put it up on here for you so I don't forget it. I got Nas PR. I got Jaden McD on the over 2.51 Q points. Look, at some point, I just got to shut up and start believing in what Dom D says, because he's come at me with like 4 of these motherfuckers, and I just keep not taking them because of my logic, and he keeps hitting them because of his feel for this. And you know, there's a lot of precedence here, but let's look at Ben Shepherd, for the love of God. Ben Shepherd. Raise your hand in the chat if you have heard of Ben Shepherd before this series, and do not lie to me. And if anybody can tell me where he went to school without looking, then I appreciate that. Mike, what's up, bro? Good to have you here. Mike of Mike's Rants. Let me know what you think of Rudy Gobert. New apology. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trying to be a dick to you. I appreciate it, bro. No worries there. We're Gucci. As far as the new Papa Gobert stuff, Mike, let me know what you think. All right, real quick. Don't have that, but we're looking at Ben Shepherd. Not real quick. We're taking our time. I'm going to give Ben Shepherd his due diligence, I promise. Let's just look at him at props.cash for a minute. All right. His props are at 2.5 rebs. Ooh, up to 5.5 points for Big Ben. Are they going to show me what his recent stuff was? Let me look at his recent props if they got him. Ben Shepherd. Does Betting Pros know who Ben Shepherd is? I hope so. Are they going to give it to us? So, yeah, he didn't get an opening line that they could record last game, but it's mostly been 3 or 4.5. 5.5 shouldn't really scare you. I mean, I don't think he's getting to the free throw line, right? He is going over the playoffs. That's crazy, dude. Over 6.8, averaging 7 points per game, averaging 18 minutes. So 7 points in 18 minutes, right? That's pretty impressive. 4 shots, y'all. 4 shots. This one he took 2 and happened to go over the 5.5 because he hit 2 threes, and those were his only 2 shots. Think about what I'm saying here. Just think about that. Like, what is the likelihood? Somebody make it make sense. 2 games he went under 50%. Every other game, 6 out of the 8, he's hitting 50. And actually, that's what this is he's got to hit 50%. So do you want to have to bank on Ben Shepherd to hit 50% of his shots? That's what I want to know. Do you want to bank on that? And not only that, 1.8 on, so what's this one? 56% of his threes. Do you want to bank on that? Do you? I don't. Does anybody want to? I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying that it won't happen. I'm saying it's not a good bet for me to take. I mean, 1 assist on 2 potentials, 50% hit rate. Just the most efficient player in the history of basketball, apparently, is Ben Shepherd. So get it. And a good call on Belmont. We got some Belmonts in there. Yeah, he went to Belmont. All right. Hopefully you didn't look it up. Precious is not out. It was an honest mistake, y'all. No worries. Precious is going to play, but we just can't get his props because the books are cowards. No worries there. Let's see. Scared money don't make money. Y'all are trying to go. I know you're messing with me, but y'all are trying to peer pressure me into taking it. All right, let me keep it moving though, because if you do take Ben Shepherd, that is strictly just banking on him continuing to do what he's done and following Crank Zone, aka Dom D, who knows what he's just, you know, Ben Shepherd, bro. Like keep it going if you like it. But I'm obviously going to keep passing on it for now because until there's like a better reason to take it, other than Mans is just hot right now, I'm kind of off it. I saw something about talking about Brunson points again. So for Brunson points, it was tough to see. So in terms of like in-game stuff, like when I watch the tape back, it's mixed coverage. It's not the same the whole game for this. So that's going to be something to keep in mind, is that like Brunson's probably going to be seeing like 60 to 65% single coverage, and then probably somewhere from 25 to 35% in double coverage. Right. And if that's the case, then I think you still go with the over on points. Can't believe I'm saying this. It's at 34.5. It got up as high as 37.5. If you're banking on the injury being the thing that stops Brunson, then that's fine. Like I think then, yeah, you can go under. But like, what's to stop? How many shots did he take last game? He took 18 in 32 minutes, right? 6 of those were threes, only 6 free throw attempts. But his free throw attempt rate this playoffs is crazy high. and he's taking most of his stuff inside the lane. So, this is like it's not a let's take a Brunson like alt line. Like if you get him 30 plus, you're actually finally getting some decent odds to get that. So I think 30 plus for Brunson is fine. But like, why would we assume he's taking less than, let's look at the playoff shots per game. Why would we assume he's taking less than 27 shots per game? And in the games where he didn't get hurt, which was all but this one right here, he didn't take less than 26. So why would we think he takes less than 26 shots? And let me just do it this way. So how many times has Brunson taken 26 shots this season, at least? This is the postseason. Let me put this to the season, take playoffs off. And now I've got him at 26 field goal attempts or more, averaging 39.6. Let me do regular season too. I mean, every time he did this in the regular season, he averaged 41 when he got 26 plus shots. In the playoffs, he didn't do it in the first two games because he was shooting like dog shit, honestly. And he still played the minutes, but he just shot like crap. It's just that simple. In the first two games, 31 and 28% from the field. Everything else is right around 47 or better. And the threes don't even matter, to be honest. Like, he doesn't need to hit the threes to get over. He's still just climbing over. The free throw attempts right here in these games as well. Even when he's taking that amount of shots, he's still getting to the free throw line for 11 attempts. And he's making 9 of them. So you give him 9 points from the free throw line, because that sounds reasonable. It's what he does. And then you say he's making 48% of 26 shots. I don't know why you feel comfortable with an under. So I'm not fading him. I don't think that the double team, I know the double team isn't going to be there enough to be like, well, he's just going to get blitzed and they're going to force the ball out of his hands. Like, it ain't going to happen enough. It's just going to be going both ways. And yeah, he was on track for 38 last game. And that helps us get down to 34.5. It's almost like, oh, wow, we get Brunson at 34.5 points. We got to go over finally, because they were putting it at 37.5, right? So that's where I'm at with Brunson is like, go over before you go under. Is that 34.5 still available? Let me make sure I'm not capping. Jalen Brunson. Yeah, you can still get 34.5 at FanDuel right here, and it's still minus 110. That seems wrong. I'm going to just go right to the source here. I'm going to FanDuel for 1 sec just to see if that price is still the same. If I look at Knicks Pacers, go New York. We go to points. JB 34.5 for minus 110. Name a better performer in the playoffs in Knicks history. I'll wait. Where's Daryl at? Where's everybody? Where are my old New York heads at that were watching these dudes in the late 70s and 80s? Like, tell me if you know of one. So my lean here for Brunson is to the over. I'm putting that down as the lean for right now, and I think he's a really good piece to add to parlays, to be honest with you. So I prefer the over on the assist. I prefer the over on the assist and the over on the points as well. I'm just going over it. Over 34.5 points. I can't get there with the under with the amount of shots dude is taking. And I understand if he's hurt, then this looks bad. Then we know right away, okay, he's hurt. You can play live unders to kind of hedge this. If you see he's like not really going for it, this is a really good live play. Yeah, Bernard King is in there. You're right. Bernard King is the only dude, Dallas, that can compete with Jalen in terms of playoff performer. I would even argue that one season with Latrell was pretty fire. He had that place rocking. So Dom D is off Shepard, y'all. All right, the guru for Ben Shepard here, the Ben Shepard whisperer, has told us not to bet on Ben Shepard tonight. So just do with that what you will, because this is a good look from him either way. He's like freaking 7 for 7 talking about these things in the last 7 bets. So cannot fade our boy Crank Zone Dom D right now. Let's see real quick. I am still on. Yeah, so I got Jalen in there with my lean. Hopefully them leans be leaning. Let's keep it moving, though. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything from this game, because I'm already kind of gone through most of these dudes. I'm leaning with Pascal bets, so keep that in mind. Just want to see if I missed anything from y'all that I didn't bring up yet before I go into the other game. And obviously, we're starting with McDaniels, first quarter points. And Mozzie, we got Joker PRA in there. I see you. Let's see real quick. Hold up. Anything else from this game? I think we're good to get to the other game for a minute. I don't think there's anybody else I truly care about looking at, to be honest with you. I took over on the Hartenstein PRA, so that should answer where I'm at. TJ McConnell's points went up after he only got 10 last game. Very interesting. Still going up because people still want to bet overs. It was probably 10.5. Not even, honestly. The over, yeah, it was probably 10.5 because it's juiced a little bit. That's crazy. 11.5. It makes sense. How many shots did you take last game? This is the only other thing I'm looking at. I'm not going to get too carried away, I promise. Took 9 shots last game. Why would you think he's going to take 16 again? 9 shots means he needs to make 6 of them. And his field goal percentage is at about, even if he makes 56%, yeah, that would do it. That would do it if he takes 12 shots. But he's averaging in this year 16 and 9. So it's like 12, right? 12 and a half shots. Yeah, it's pretty doable. 50% of 12 and a half shots gets you to the over 11 and a half points if you want to use that math. I think if you go TJ McConnell, you go over on that. But Miles Turner, bro, I am so bad at betting Miles Turner. It is so insane how bad I am at betting him. Mike and the tinfoil hat bets with Brunson. Yep, this is why you go over on Brunson. It's Willis Reed time, baby. That's crazy. That's so funny. Brunson coming out of the locker room. That was the last game. That's insane. So for Miles Turner, I'll just look at him real quick. But like, man, the field goal, he didn't even shoot last game, man. He played 31 minutes, which I think is probably about what he's going to shoot. 11 times for him to get 18 points, and he only took 2 threes. They're definitely getting out on those threes a lot better. Now you got 2 bigs in there. I'm a under lean on Miles Turner. I don't think he has serious splits. Let me look real quick. Miles Turner stats at home and on road this season. StatMuse, if you don't know about it, I'm sure most of you do. Really good for this quick splits and stuff like that. So yeah, he gets a little bit more at home. 1 more point, 1 more rebound, 1 more minute. A little bit better at home. I definitely consider him a role player. So like, if you like the role players looks, then I think you go that route. I still think you go under for Miles Turner just consistently. Like he's just, I mean, what's he at? He's at 50%. Yeah, of course he is. Of course he's a 50% hit rate because it's either 29 points or 5 points. And obviously there's a 17 in there, but I just don't trust the usage for Miles. It's not a guy that I can like really project either way because the minutes and the usage stay pretty much where they're at. I did forget to get to White Dante though. So let me look at which Dante Big Ragu. Is that his nickname? I fucking didn't even know that. That's wonderful. Where's White Dante at? Bomani Jones calls him White Dante, and I've pretty much just let that stick ever since. This is crazy now because it was 17 and a half last game after it was 15 and a half first game, and now Dante is fully back. He's also going to be getting a ton of looks, but like here's the only problem with the 28 that he got last game. 6 for 6 from 3. That's what scares you, right? 6 for 12, rather. What am I talking about? 6 for 12, though, from deep. He made 5 in the first game, 6 in the next game. So, I mean, these percentages from 3 are pretty bonkers, 56 and 50% from deep. Those are outliers. He's going to come right back down to like 38% at some point. And if he hits 38% of that, I mean, it's still pretty good. The field goals, though, are where you look at too. 17 and 20, 12 of which were from deep. And he still has the ability to get to the basket when he doesn't. So I don't mind it. It's a little bit high now. I'm looking at his stuff for the season. He averaged 15.6 on the season. That was in 29.7 minutes. This is all during the regular season. So let me just do that with Dante real quick and see if we can get some accurate projections for him. So we'll put him at 15.6 points per game on the season. Dante points, we're putting him at a 20.5 line. The under over here, what's the juice? Okay, it's minus 104 on FanDuel for the under and minus 115 on Caesars there for the over. So we'll do minus 104 to the under, minus 115 to the over, minus 104 to the under, minus 115 to the over. Minutes average was 29.5, we said, for the season, and the prop average was 15.6 points per game. So now if we project his minutes at 40, screw it, absolutely 40, like and maybe 42, depending on if he's not playing well, and then Deuce gets the burn. By the way, that's a little bit of this as well. Let's see, we got book under prop is what I say, minus 104. Yeah, minus 104. So if I put that in here, minus 104 is probably gonna come out to what, like 50%. Minus 104 is gonna be 51% to the under. And then the over is going to be minus 115. And that is a 50, call it 53% because I can't round up 53.949. 53%. So that's a minus. What is this 54% though? 54%. Yeah, still nothing there. So the edge is not there on either side for Dante once you get this high, because this is basically the books just taking his numbers, extrapolating them for the minutes and being like, okay, well, if he plays 29 and a half and he gets this many points, what happens when he plays 40 minutes? And the answer is he gets about 21.5, right? So about 21.5 is what he's at, but there's not much of an edge to get us there because the numbers don't give us enough of an edge. Like if this was, let's say that the projection was 21, right? And the over was like minus, or it was like plus 110. maybe that helps us. In fact, let me just show you what I mean. So if the over was like, let's make it 100, right? Even money for the over. Now we're still looking at, so the even money would be probability to the over would be 50%. And now we're looking at a little bit more of an edge, right? 4.4% that is allows you to go, okay, I'm not getting robbed on the price here. But we're getting robbed on the price here. So we're not going with it. Yeah, that's cool. Dope. All right. Let me so for White Dante, not sure I'm there with it. I know I'm not for the points. For the rebounds and assists, I considered that because I think he's going to keep getting minutes, and these assists are mad low for White Dante. Let's look at playoffs real quick so I can just look closely at these last 2 games. And I honestly, don't we just give him the last 3, right? Because he turned things around here, right here, in the last game against Philly. He finally got things going, and so I think that's enough to go. Okay, whatever. Let's look at his so his rebounds and assists are at 7.5. Shoot, he played 44 minutes last game. Maybe I should put his projections a little bit higher. My bad. Let's put him at 40. Do we put him at 44? Well, JB missed a couple minutes. I mean, even we put him at 42. Now he's at 22. Now we get a little bit of an edge to the over. If you give him, I mean, oh no, I fucked up the odds, remember? So the odds here are minus 115, which means that the implied probability is, what did I say that was? Minus 115 is 53%. So yeah, there's still no edge, still 5%. So I'm off that. I won't waste your time with that anymore. But if we still put him at 42 minutes, let's see real quick about the rebounds and the assists. The potential assists last game were at 7. That was in some minutes without JB, obviously. Potential assists in the first game, game 1, just 1. So he's at about 4. You put him at about 4 potential assists in this game on average. That's where he's at for at least in this series. And then the rebound chances, looking at that all the way down here, 12 in this last game, 6 in game 1. So you put him at about 8, right? Or 9 rather. 9 rebound chances on average in this series. And if he does that at a 50% clip, that's about 4.5. So that's right what his number is, isn't it? Yeah, for the rebounds. So this is fair. I think the assists give you a decent edge to the assist number there. Or is assists on the season by chance? This is playoffs assists. So he's 50%. There's no edge on Dante props. Unfortunately, it's just like a little too high. Even the threes, God damn, this is not at 4.5 made threes. Is it? You're joking me. 4.5 made threes because he's just been chucking them, I guess. But this is one of the best 3-point defenses in the league. It is the best 3-point defense in the league, allegedly. 50, 59, 44%. This is field goal percentage. Hold on. 3-point percentage, 56, 56, 50. Come on, dog. Really? Like, you give him 9. You think he's hitting 5 of those things? 5 of 9 from deep? What are we doing? I guess he did it in 3 in a row, and that's what we're doing. But the under is minus 184 at this point. That's cuckoo pie, bro. That's crazy. I'm off Dante. Sorry, I'm going crazy. Yeah, damn. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I got to pass on Dante, which is at least a good look because I do like. I did like him in this series coming in, but now the props have caught up. The lines have caught up to where he's actually at, and they got this thing too much. So let's. I know you answered me, Mike, but I'm pretty sure you took Gobert, right? I love Gobert. Max Reed's points, okay. Nas Reed, obviously. Cat's points technically has nothing to do with the baby, but it helps simply because Joker plays no D. Oh, right, you did like that as well. I knew that you were just like, yo, center's got to go at Joker the way that Bam did in the finals last year, which makes total sense. So I don't have a Joker bet up yet though, so I do need to look at his stuff. But I did promise Dom D that we would be looking at Jaden McDaniels' first quarter stuff. So let me at least start with that, and we'll get into some of these other things. Quick reminder: everything's rolling on the bottom line. So if you didn't see yet, I'll just bring it back up because I have a bunch of bets in this game. We're going Ant over on the points and assists. We're going Jamal under on the points and assists. We're going Slow-Mo Anderson under on the points, rebounds, and assists. 8.5 is the best number for that. If you, I believe, if you have bet Rivers, it's 9.5. You might still be able to get that. I don't have access to that book, but Aaron Gordon under on the rebounds and assists. I would put the points in there too. I'm not actually that scared of the points, to be honest with you. But I just don't see him getting boards continuously against Rudy and company. So those are the 4 bets for this game already. But let's keep it moving and get into our boy, Jaden McDaniels' first quarter points. All right, got this game up. You can see this should still be at 4.5. You can get Wolves at 3.5 if you want that. Listen, y'all, I know this is down 2-0. The champs, they got to come back and they're going to bring everything they got. I don't know if everything they got's good enough at this point. And I said that between game 1 and game 2. I know it feels like overreaction at times, but like This is so Minnesota right now. It's crazy. The defense more than anything, right? But let's look at Jaden McD, first quarter points. That would be wild if this man was getting first quarter points. What am I looking at here? This is in the playoffs. Am I going under? Dom D, let me know if I'm going under here. If you're still, yeah, I see you, bro. Let me know if you like the under or the over. I think you like the over because you said you got plus 140, right? For the over on his points. Let me see. Let me know which book that was too. I just want to make sure that is available. I'm going to, does he have first quarter points over here? Let's see. Jaden McDaniels, where are you at? He's not listed on here, or is he? First quarter. Jaden McDaniels. I'm not seeing it on this book. This is alt points. Probably on DraftKings is a better look. Let me see real quick. Player points going all the way to the bottom to the first quarter stuff. Points first quarter. Oh, I'm in the wrong game. Idiot. All right, I'm pulling it up right now. Over 2.5. DK. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what I figured. Player points going to the bottom for Jaden McD. Where you at, Jaden? 2.5 is plus 142. Whew. What's he been doing in the first quarter, Dom? What has he been doing? Let's look at these playoffs real quick. So 2.5, only over in 2 of the 6. Just to keep that in mind, 2 of the 6 here. So how many shots has he been taking? He took 2 last game, but he's taken a decent amount. So if he takes 3 shots, he's got to hit 2 of them, or he's got to hit a 3. How many threes is he taking in the first quarter? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So he's got to hit his 3, or he's got to make 2 of his 3 shots. You like that? You still like that? Let me know. I mean, that's something. I'm gonna pass on it. I know it's gonna hit because I'm passing on it. But I did look at it, and the only thing I really have to look at these first quarter things is like how active are you? How many minutes is he playing? 8.7. I really wish that was consistently higher, obviously. But it does seem like he's coming out in the first 2, so he's got about 9 minutes to get those points in for him to get it. So I'm gonna stay away from it right now, but you know that I got respect for you, Dom. So keep bringing them, keep bringing the fire. All right, let me get into some other stuff. I didn't talk about Joker yet. I do think Rudy's a good look. Joker first quarter points. That's definitely higher than 7.5. Ain't no way that's still at that. On DraftKings, it's 8.5 for even money. Very interesting. Let's look at his stuff on how often he's doing this stuff on. Okay, so we've got 4 in the first quarter. So frustrated in that last first quarter. Played 11 minutes. He is normally playing about 12 minutes. He had 3 attempts in that first quarter of last game. Wow, that's insane. 7 in game 1. What was he? He got 9 in game 1. How often is he doing in the playoffs? Doing this pretty frequently. So if we use playoff data, 8 points per game in the first quarter with 2 pretty big duds. So it's tough because this is actually wrong. This should say 8.5. Yeah. So at 8.5, it's a little bit ballsier. I mean, it's all hands on deck. So if you want to just buy into that and not use anything, and you just want to go, look, my gut here in the playoffs is that man is he's going to be taking 10 shots in this first quarter, which, by the way, how many is he taking? See, he's just not taking enough. Joel Embiid was taking like 9 to 10 field goals a game in the first quarter. So that was a little bit better of a look right there. For his full stuff real quick, I just wanted to see for first quarter. Sometimes that's exploitable for Jokic, but for his full game stuff, 28.5 points. What's interesting is if we put this at the head-to-head stuff and we do with Rudy Gobert. Now he's doing it in the regular season. Obviously did it in game 1. And then in the regular season, game, just this one with Rudy. So 28 is a really, really high number for Jokic, honestly. Like, I know that I was so happy with the 30 plus in game 1, and I was very happy with it. But the 28.5, 29 on 365 from minus 118. It's Jokic. Jokic's going to Jokic, but I can't go over on that, to be honest with you. The rebounds with Rudy in there, we know those are going to suffer more with Rudy in there. If you look at the regular season, this is all regular season, right? Hold up. Let me see. Let's do it this way. Let's do Verth, Minnesota. Let's do last season, or yeah, here we go, 23-24. So 4 times this season with Rudy under in those rebounds pretty frequently, right? That does add up. And I do like Rudy to probably get his boards. 22 rebound chances, but it's harder for him to get up above that 50% rebound chance percentage. 8 on 15 in this last game. Obviously, he didn't even play that much because it was a blowout. 11 of 19, and he needs 13 here. So 13 on 22 rebound chances. So his rebound chance success rate against Rudy is basically going to be, so he's got 18.5 pulling down. What do we say his rebounds were at? 9.8. So that is about 50%, right? It's a little better than 50%. So 9.8 divided by 18.5 is 53%. So if he's averaging 18.5, and let's just give him about 18. Let's give him the 19, because I think this was more of the outlier with the 15 right here. So if you give him 19 rebound chances and he's getting 52% of them, that's really not getting you 13, is it? And I don't know why you would think it would be more than that, unless you think Minnie's missing a bunch of shots. I think Joker under on rebounds is a play. I cannot believe I'm saying that. With Rudy Gobert in, I think it's a play. Did you ever think I never thought I would say that. That's a pretty good lean right there. Unless you just, like I said, think Joker's going to come out and do crazy shit, but I got to refresh. My bad. Man, I hate that I want to do that. I really, really hate that I want to take under on Jokic rebounds, because I'm going to feel like a complete asshat if that goes over. And I also took under on the rebounds and assists for what's his name? Fuck me, man. Diego took under rebounds. Anybody else like under rebounds? Let me know in the chat if you like it. Precious is starting. That's what I freaking thought. I guess that's what they were waiting for, is to see if Precious was going to be in the starting lineup. But like, what? Who else are they going to start? Like I said, Jericho Sims. They need two bigs in there. They need to guard Pascal. So that was ridiculous. We'll get Precious lines in a minute. Yeah, if you can keep me posted on that, appreciate it, Dom. We can look at that stuff. 1.5 3-pointers for Jokic. Yeah, that's always going to be a good look against Rudy. Just pulling him back up real quick. Let's put with Rudy in there. I know he missed a bunch. He missed a lot in game 1, but he took like 9 of them, right? 3-point attempts in game 1 were 9. Last game without Rudy, 1, right? So that's going to be a huge difference, like with and without Rudy. If we go head to head, not last 10, yeah, this is going to look a lot better. And if we put Rudy in the game, then we're going to get mostly hits dating back to like last postseason, honestly. So last postseason with Rudy, this is against a different team different team. So 2 on how many attempts real quick? The attempts are at 4.2, but if we just look at basically since this season, so we got 4 games with Rudy, took 6, 3, 2, 9, so that's 15, 18, 20 divided by 4 is 5 attempts. 5 attempts to hit 2 is not great, but you get the plus money, and you can get plus 140 for the 5 attempts for him to go 40% from 3, where he is normally probably about like 35%. So I don't know if I'm with that, to be honest. I don't know if I like that juice enough, but I can understand the logic of he's going to keep shooting threes with Rudy out there. I would imagine that's the play, and he could even just be shooting some frustration threes at points in time. I'm worried about another blowout. I gotta relax and remember Denver is not going to be 20 points worse than this Minnesota team that consistently. So do we just go under PRA for Joker? Because that's what Mozzie's telling me, and I don't think that's a bad look. And if I know someone's going to smack me around if I do this. Someone's going to be pissed. Let's put Rudy back in there, though. And you know what? Let's put Jaden McD in there as well. Is that going to matter? Look at that. Got to put Jaden McD in there. When there's both of them in there, he's gone under this pretty consistently. And I'm not saying he's going to guard him, but I'm just saying he makes everything around everybody difficult because he's that good of a defender. In terms of the assists not being there for him, this game didn't matter. This game didn't have anybody playing big minutes on 410. I don't believe. Did they? No. I'm sorry. I got to double check. I'm going to go Nuggets versus Timberwolves last 6 games, whatever. So on 410, that was a win for the Nuggets. And they did play everybody. Okay, my bad. So they played everybody, and Joker still went cleanly over. Did his thing. Everybody was playing this game. So this isn't a good example of him going over. That's fine. 59 right there. In the first 2 games of this series, though, right? Like, let me take without Rudy. Didn't go over even when he got the 30 points in game 1 with the PRA. So I almost think, yeah, I like that. Oh man, I'm making that a bet. I cannot believe I'm making that a bet. That's crazy. All right, good luck, Job. I'm going to get on to that real quick, but I can't believe I just talked myself into the under for Nikola Jokic on the PRA. That's insane. I'm going with a half a unit on it because it's Nikola Jokic, but I'm doing it under 50 point. Is that the best number too? Because I'm gonna have to get this in here in a minute. What's the best number I could take? PRA 51.5 on MGM. That's probably a lie. MGM needs to get their shit together, man. 113 minus under is minus 108. Yeah, and Caesars is apparently plus 110. Is that the truth? Let me look at on my finder here. Go to PRA. Where you at? Points, rebounds, assists. Under 50.5 on Caesars is plus 110. About it, man. All right, under 50.5 PRA plus 110. Y'all can come back in here and just ridicule me tomorrow if that looks silly, but we're going to put that in there to get about 0.6 units back on our monies. Got the Joker in there under 50.5 PRA. I'm ready for the stream to just freaking empty as everybody files out because of this dipshit just went under. But nah, Mozzie, I'm with you, bro. I don't even mean to trash what you're saying. Yeah, I'm trashing how dumb I feel doing it, but it's a good look. Yeah, it's true. It's a good look, Diego. So I appreciate the support from the squad here because we're riding, baby. All right, let me get Precious on the line, and then I got a couple others for this one, and we're gonna dip out of here in shortly. So we got Precious. I'll go back to Precious in 1 second. You got 17. No, I'm going to go to him right now. What am I talking about? I don't need this stuff to move. And we know there's snitches in the stream, so it's just a matter of time before this stuff goes all the way up, right? 17.5 PRA. It was at 9.5 last game. Obviously, this is just a different projection entirely, so it makes sense. Let's see if it's up on props.cash real quick. It refreshes pretty consistently, but looks like we got to wait one more second. Let's pull him up on Props Madness real quick. Props Madness. Shout out to our boy Pips. By the way, don't be making fun of the way Pips speaks. Like, you don't speak Serbian. I saw some people trashing Pips in the last stream. Like, can't understand what dude's saying. It's like, don't worry about it. I got it on the screen. He's way smarter than all of us when it comes to basketball analytics. He's the one that made this incredible website. He speaks 4 languages. We speak probably 1. If you're American anyway, and you're ignorant like all of us are because we don't give a shit about other languages, don't be making fun of him. That's my one PSA. Looking at Precious. Where you at, Precious? His mama called him Precious. I'm going to call him Precious. 9.5 points is not often doable for Precious this season. Let's look at 86 games. I know some of these are with the Raptors. So let's look at the last 40 games for Precious. And let's put him at no, let's see. Let's do none of these dudes. I don't know if this is going to yield us much, but I'm going to take out all these dudes that are missing. So boom, right off the bat, we got no Mitch Rob. We got no OG. We got no Bojan, but this is games with this is games, right? So with the, let me see here real quick. With the Knicks, this is all with the Knicks from like February 1st, right? This is, Knicks. Wait, let's see. Yeah, Knicks right here. Okay, so this is his first game with the Knicks, right? So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last 7 for him is when he's been on the Knicks and in this situation. So one time he went under on the points. Every other time he went over. I like the start there. One of those was against the Pacers. I like that as well. That he was in that was a lineup that was very similar to this team. He took 16 shots in this game. That's really good. I really like that. So let me go to props.cash, see if it's up because I know how to manipulate that for other stats a little bit better. But so far, I'm already like, yeah, I mean, I love this. He got his minutes average in this case. I don't know how to look at that stuff as easily. Let me just go on props.cash. Come on, Precious, be up. There we go. All right. PR. Let's look at points for a minute. So what I did here was I took out all the dudes that are going to be missing. We got no Marcus Robinson. We got no Julius, no OG. That's the most important. None of those 3 dudes. And then we are doing this in the last, real quick. Why was this looking so much better over here? I had no OG, no Bojan, no Mitch Rob. Okay. I got to take Bojan out as well. See how that helps us. No Bojan. That matters. Wow. Bojan took some of his stuff too, because I guess they liked him big enough to be down low. So yeah, it looks like Bojan was stealing from him. So that makes sense. I see you over here, JP, talking about the rebounds. That's why I brought it over to props.cash, as I can see the rebounds a little bit more easily. So let's see real quick. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's see. Man, that is green as the shit we be smoking, man. Let's see. Last 10, but let's do this. How can I make this just the Knicks with Jalen? right? Did Jalen play in all these games? Where you at, JB? With Jalen, no, Jalen didn't play in all these games. So hold on. Although I guess we should have with Jalen in there. That's helpful. But this is the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, basically. So the last 7 games in this situation. I'm not going to worry about these because this was, you know what? Let me do, yeah, there's no way to do it. How can I get that filter to just show me the last 7? I do wonder. Let me not worry about that. Let me just go look down here. So what I want to look at is also the field goal attempts. Let's see. In these last 7, yeah, it would be really helpful to be able to fucking do this in the last 7. In the last 7, though, if we look at the field goal attempts, this says 10, but this is probably going to be about 12. If you look at these numbers right here, from 6, 19, 35, 46, 59, 68, 84. 84 divided by 7 is going to be 12. Oh, look at that, Chapoy. All right. 12 is the amount of field goal attempts that he took in these situations, including one against Indy where he took 16, right? Ludat. Let's make sure that JB is in there, though. I do think that's hyper relevant with JB, not without him. Come on. All right. No, we're still good. JB played in all these games, right? We're still now over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 of 6. There's another one in there, so it's 6 of 7. One of those games Brunson missed apparently, but it's over in 6 of 7. This is just the points, and it's high. It's a high number of shots for him. He's still at 12 and a half shots, right? Let me make sure Hartenstein is in here too. With Hartenstein. Yeah, he's still in there for 5 of these games, and he's still going over. Let's look at the rebounds. Rebounds are at 8.5. That's dumb high, dude. That's really, really, really high for Precious. What's his rebound chances in these situations? 15 rebound chances. I mean, do we really think he's getting 15 in this game with the Pacers? Possible. I see it's 26 in this last game. He and Hardenstein were just eating glass in that game, though. Man, that's tough to add the rebounds for real. I don't need to touch the assists. I'll tell you that right now. The rebounds, though, do we really want to add those? 18.5 PR is what I'm getting here. Let me see if it's coming up better over here. I know someone put in a 17.5 number for him. I wonder if that already got bet up. Points and rebounds, 18.5. I'm not seeing any 17.5s anymore. So you really got to go to 18.5 for his PR. Over in 3 of 5, 18 in one game against the Lake Show. In how many minutes? Let's see. He's at 40 minutes in these situations. There ain't no way he's getting 40 minutes. So that's another problem for us. When we trim this to this exact situation, I don't know if I can go that high on Precious props. 40 minutes is not what I would project him at. Now he's starting. And if they don't want to play any, okay. What's good, Bob Chura? I love that name. Let's see real quick. Yeah, Dante's a good look. We passed on him earlier though, bro. But either way, I mean, it was just not enough of an edge. But I would lean over on Dante before I go under. That's for damn sure. So don't worry. Don't let me stop you. Yeah, Justin. Just so you know, all the bets are rolling on the bottom of the screen too. So if anybody hasn't seen these, everything that's been placed is on there. And then if it's a lean, it's clearly indicated by the word lean, right? So that'll be a separate little thing down there. But there are a bunch on there right now. I think I only added 2 really. So we got Ant PA over, Jamal under, et cetera, et cetera. You'll see all that stuff down there. It's all good, bro. Just check it out on the bottom line. Let's see. I appreciate you jumping in though, obviously. So now we really just got to decide how many minutes is Precious playing. And man, is RotoWire going to give us that? I forgot that I have this up. Let's go to RotoWire as a place to find potential NBA projections. And NBA, if Mario said NBA, lineups, where do I go for this again? Free agent, lineups, NBA lineups, tomorrow's lineups, rotation, minutes report. Let's see, NBA lineups. All right, here we go. Confirmed lineups. So now we've got that. Let's see what RotoWire is projecting for Precious. See, it's 29 minutes for Precious. I don't think you can give him 40 the way he's been averaging that. So I hate that I have to stay away from Precious. In fact, I would go under on his boards if this is accurate. I mean, Josh Hart at 48 minutes is accurate. Jalen at 44, yeah, these look accurate to me as projected minutes, to be honest. So if you've got Precious at 29 minutes, he's an underdog. Let's use what he's done here. I'm going to keep Isaiah in here. I'm going to keep it like this because it's only been 5 games this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. right? Yeah, 5 games, over in 4 or 5, averaging 13 points, but averaging 39.8 minutes. So let me put him in here real quick. Minus 109 to the under. Let's do it over here. This is probably lying to me. The points, minus 120 to the over. Even money on DraftKings to the under for 9.5. Let's do it with that. Minus 120 to the over. Even money to the under. Let's look at Precious. Points, 9.5. The odds to the under, I already forgot. Idiot. Where am I at? The minus 120 and even money. Come on, do better. Smoke more weed. God damn it. All right, here we go. We're close, I promise. Yeah, no worries, bro. I was wondering about the yeah, that's a good call, Bob. Like, but I think 29 minutes is a good projection. Like, I feel you being a little bit cautious with Precious, and preciously cautious, but I think 29, 30 minutes is a pretty good projection for our boy in this one. Let me get this up to 150. Putting Precious in here to go. Under odds were even money. Over odds were minus 120. The minutes average, now I got to put him at the 39.8 because that's what I'm using to go. Okay, he averaged 13.2, right? So 13.2 points in that amount of time. Why won't you work? It shouldn't be 0. What? Hold up, I messed up. Points 9.5. What is going on? 100 on the odds. Minutes average 39.8. Prop average 13.2. That should give us an automatic function, dog. Hold on. Let me do it this way. Moving into the Dante cell here. All right. So that gives us something's fucking up now. Let me see. Hold up. Let me start a new line. But I need to see this for Precious because if there's any edge, then I still really want to bet on him. But if not, then I don't know what to do about it. So let's see. Precious, come on, dog. These formulas should still be the same. 9.5 points, 9.5. Under odds, minus 120. Over odds, even, no, other way around. Even to the over, or yeah, minus 120 to the over. Minutes average, 39.8. Prop average, 13.2. Thank you for working. Okay, so now projected minutes tonight. This is a huge over, as you can see, without the projected minutes. The probability of the over at is very high. But the projected minutes for tonight, we're putting him at, I'll even put him at 30. And now we're looking at 9.94, which takes our whole edge away. So they have this properly booked, honestly, and capped. So the probability to the under even money is going to be 50%. The probability to the over at minus 120 is going to be like 52%. Minus 120, 55%. I was very wrong. 55%. No edge either way with the prices at what they are, right? So they're begging you to take an under by giving you plus money, even money there. But the over is still just not a good enough bet for me, not with this amount of minutes for projections for him. If you look at the rebounds, I don't even think I think the rebounds is a nice under, to be honest with you. 8.5. If you look at him in these situations, he's still averaging 7.8, right? And you get minus, well, that's not a great under number. What's the rebounds under for our boy? 8.5, minus 125 to the under, minus 104 to the over. Let's work with those real quick. So I'm going to change this to rebounds. I'm going to make it 8.5. The under odds that I already forgot are, oh, and you can get, this is points. Okay, minus 125 to the under, minus 104 to the over. Minus 125, minus 104. Minutes average, we can keep all this the same. The prop average is at 7.8 in this situation. I know it's a small sample size, but this is the numbers we're using. 7.8, projected minutes 30. Probability to the under, if we change this up, the book edge under is minus 125, right? Is what we said. Minus 125 is a 56% implied probability. 56. And this is minus 104, which is 51%. I want to make sure I'm doing that right, though. Minus 104. Is that what I said? Sorry that I suck at this. Minus 104 to the over is 51%. So I'm putting that in here, 51. And now you can see this is a pretty nice edge to the under. And I think that's probably the play, to be honest with you. Now, this is where I would agree a little bit more with Bob Chura that that basically like the Precious, the stuff here is almost something you want to wait on to see how long they play him. But I think I think 30 minutes till you cap him at. Honestly, I don't know how you play him too much more than that unless you really are getting crushed by Pascal. That could be a part of it. Man, I think this is a look though for Precious under on the boards. What did he have in the let me take all this out real quick and just go to let me just do it this way so I can take everybody out. All right, now I'm gonna go back to Precious, go to his keep on his rebounds. I'm gonna do last 5 so I can just see a little closer. So last game he had 28 minutes, right? It's very close to what we're talking about here. The rebound chances last game were 10 to get 9. In what world is he in a better position than that? I don't know what would change. I'm going to go see what his matchup was when he was in the game last game real quick. Defensive player for Precious. Oh, all of this tracking data is fucked from this last game for some reason. Yeah, it wasn't able to track everybody. It was almost like they turned shit off when Jalen Brunson left or some bullshit. That's so annoying. Really, what would be really helpful is to be able to see who he was guarding. And I'm sure it was Pascal, to be honest. Let me you're just not going to get enough out of this. This is all screwy now because of the lack of tracking data. So that's tough. But I'm going to go with it with a half a unit for under for Precious. What was the odds there again? It was -1. Yeah, I'm going to get this in at -125 on DK, and I'll just see if it got any better for us. If people want to bet the over blindly, but like I got to go under on the boards here. That's too many for the situation that he's in and the situation that he's been in this same spot, right? -120 on DK at this point. I'll just check it on FanDuel while I have it open as well for Precious Achiuwa player boards. Yeah, they don't even have it up yet. So yeah, they're still waiting on it, but I think it's worth it on DK. So we're gonna roll with it. That's going up on the bottom line here, next to that crazy bet that we made for Joker. Precious under 8.5 revs, and I'm gonna put 0.75 on that. So it's -120 DK, 0.75 U. All right. Got that up on the bottom line. I want to get a couple other things from the other. I'll look at Deuce while we're in this game still. I think I had so many bets for Mini and Denver. It'd be tough for me to take too much more because I got a lot of bets up now once I get these other 2 in. But yeah, I actually need to send that text real quick and get that Precious bet up. While I do that, I'm also bringing up Deuce. So the problem with Deuce, what did we say his projected minutes were according to RotoWire? Miles is at 21 minutes. What did he play last game? And he played 28 last game, right? But he got a few extra minutes because they were without Jalen Brunson. And to be honest with you, those minutes without Jalen Brunson did not make Deuce look that favorable. Let's be freaking real. So he's at 11.5 points. Damn, there's some unders available for Deuce, honestly. I was looking at under 13.5 PRA just to put it all together. I just don't think he'll be on the floor enough. He played for 20 minutes. 20 minutes last game, right? I'm going back into the box score real quick. I'm going to see how many minutes he played in the second half. So if we go to second half, Deuce played 4 minutes, right? Now, second quarter, Deuce played 11 minutes. This is the quarter that Jalen Brunson missed the entirety of, right? So I think you got to go under on Deuce. But Tom Thibodeau ain't going to be playing him more than 25 minutes, and RotoWires has him at 21. Are they just copying last game's freaking minutes, though? Because this is exactly how many of these dudes played last game. So that's a little bit. But Jalen obviously at 44. And yeah, there's dudes that are out. So, oh no, they're giving Alec Burks 10 minutes. Yeah, we're about to get some minutes from those dudes. I'm going under on Deuce, man. I am. I don't think his threes is high enough. Oh, it's at 2.5, but it's minus. Oh my God. That 2.5 is almost worth it. How many is he even going to take? He's not going to have enough time. All right. I'm getting that Deuce bet in, and I'm getting that Precious bet in real quick. So stand by if you're with me, but that's what we're doing here. And I'm getting the Deuce bet in as well. I'm going under on Deuce, man. I'm taking it. Deuce. I'm taking Deuce. Pause. Deuce under 13.5 PRA is -115 on FD. Going with that as well. 4.75 U. All right. We got a ton of bets in there, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything for anybody else. So did anybody have anything? Nas was the only one I didn't look at. Let's close it down with Nas Reed right quick. And then everybody can let me know what their favorite Nas song is in the comments if you want. I'm going with New York State of Mind. I can't think of a better rap song than that, honestly, at all, to be honest. Maybe I think New York State of Mind might be it, and I know there's plenty of people who are gonna be biased towards that in here. If you got a better Nas song than that, let me know. Obviously, Ether is the one that was the greatest rap beef song of all time. But all right, enough rap talk for now, and we'll finish up with Nas. It's tough not to talk about rap, but you keep bringing up Nas, though. PR for Nas. So obviously, dude went crazy in game 1. Let's keep in mind, let me go back to, actually, I think Nas is the dude that I have up as the first one to look at when I have this bookmarked with Nas. So how perfect is that? Pulling up Reed here real quick. Let's see. Yeah, The World Is Yours. Life's okay. I mean, look, this is gonna be tough. Like, we're gonna have to like go through all like his catalog at this point. Anything Nas is facts. I'm pretty sure Nas is your photo, your avatar on YouTube. So you're biased, but if you gotta let us know. Hip Hop Is Dead. That was probably the best off that album too. That album was not the best, but it was still fire. The World, yeah, I mean, all these are gonna be fire. Yeah, that's so hilarious. I'm glad I brought that up. All right, so then let's see if we can get a bet on Nas Reed real quick. 12.5, right? This is 12.5, and now is it 13.5? Is that what we just, no, it's points and rebounds. Okay, so the points are back to 10.5. They were at 12.5. So 10.5, they got down 2 because Rudy's back, but they go up from the last game. So it was at 9.5. I think 10.5 is probably fair. 10.5 points, and the PR, it's at 13.5 now. And tonight it's and recently it's been about that. So it's still pretty fair at 13.5. It didn't really go up from last game either, which is interesting because Rudy was out last game. And so that is interesting. So, but this does mean the rebounds went down 1, right? And the rebounds went down to 3.5, and they were at 4.5 last game, or 5.5 last game. Interesting. So for Nas, what would change about this for Nas? I'm just looking at the points real quick. So let's look at the points. What do they project him for in the minutes? Let's look at that right quick. And obviously, this isn't the best. This is free. I don't have an account that I pay for RotoWire. So actually, wait, do I? I actually might, and I don't know if I canceled it. So I'm not sure if everybody has access to this. But let's look at projected minutes for them. May not play. I don't want the Nuggets. I want the T-Wolves. T-Wolves projected minutes. Yeah, they got Nas at 19. I think you cap him at 20, to be honest. That's the thing. 20 minutes for Nas. And in game 1, like, he played the same 20 minutes, and he played 23 minutes in game 1. He had 11 field goal attempts. So 11 field goal attempts, and you expect, probably about 4 to 5 of them to be threes. So it's a tough projection here for Nas. Let's put him in this situation in the playoffs real quick. I mean, he hasn't been great in the playoffs, obviously. He's gone over in 4 of 6, though, even without being that good in the playoffs, to be honest with you. And he wasn't really necessary in this last series. He just kind of went off a couple of times. So the minutes in this last series, they were about 19.5. I think 20 to 23 is still fair for him. Let's look at that in the season when he did this with all these dudes in, though. So we've got to put in, let's see here real quick. Let's put in Rudy Gobert. Let's put in Carl, Jaden. I don't care about Slow-Mo. NAW, and make sure Ant's in there as well. Yeah, Ant doesn't miss time. Ant's a G. So there were, this is still playoffs probably. Yeah, so let me take out the playoffs. So in this season, he played without these, like in this situation with all these dudes. In 54 games, he went over half the time. He averaged 12 points. His minutes were at 22. That's probably a smidge high. So I don't think we're going to get much of an edge for Nas, although it's even money to go over to get 11. Let's just do it with Nas real quick. All right, let's put Nas in here for the points, because I don't love the rebounds for Nas when I don't know how, like, I can't get the thing there real quick. Yeah, that's fire too. Not gonna lie, you're right about that. All right, yeah, I'll do my Serbian accent. That is a fair deal. Serbian accent comes through if Jokic goes over on the PA, but if he doesn't, then I think I need you to send a voice message of you doing your Jokic impression. That seems to be a fair bet. Spit on it. Shake. All right, points for Nas at 10.5. I'm going to use the averages that he had in this situation during the season, like I was just showing you. So I've got my filters in to get me to exactly what's going to happen tonight, and then I got to get to this Knicks game. And my boy texted me back, so we get those bets in, baby. All right, good. All right, cool. Finishing up with Nas. The 12. Okay, so we're using these numbers. The minutes are 22 I'm going to stick with it. All right, so bear with me. 22 minutes for Nas. The under odds, I know the over is even money, so I like that. The under odds for Nas are -122. Put that in here. -122. The under minutes average 22. What did I say? 22 point what? My bad. 22.1. The prop average is 11.8 points per game. So with the projected minutes, they have him at 19. I think that's fair. I guess you could put him at 22 because they're going to need him, right? I think you give him a few more minutes than 19. Like, they played him 22 in the game one because of the fact that they want to go big. His defense was incredible. Defense in this last game was even better. I'm going to give him 22 minutes. All right. Now we've got the probability over pretty high. The numbers, though, are even and -122. So the over is even, and that gives us 50%. I already knew that. And the under is -122, which is 55%. So 55 to the over, 50 to the over, 55 to the under. And you get an edge to the over. You do, for even money for Naz Reid. You need him to take the shots, obviously. How many did he average in these situations? 9 field goals, making 5 of them. Gets you 10. You get a 3 out of him. What are the free throws? I don't think he's going to get very many free throws. 1.8 in these situations. Like, if he hits his 1-for-1 free throw, fine. I don't know if he's even good for 2, though, right? So it's going to be close. It really is. If you think he's going to hit better than 50%, then this is an okay bet. If you don't, this is not a good bet, to be honest with you. So I'm going to pass on Nas. I got plenty in this game. It's a lean for me to the over if anybody wants it. If you are going to take anything for Nas, I would take the over there. So Pascal, I'm sorry, real quick. What did I say my lean was for Pascal? It was under 21.5 points. And then the lean for Nas is going to be over 10.5 points for even money. Over 10.5 points plus 100 on DK. All right. If you are still new, definitely subscribe to that page if you would on YouTube. Also going to be coming back with a live stream tomorrow. The live stream is at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So it's a little bit earlier. What time do those games start tomorrow? Let me just double check right quick. I'll just go to NBA.com. I want to make sure I'm not lying to you when I say that in case I have to go early. Yeah. Okay, cool. So 2:30 p.m. Eastern, an hour before the first tip, right? We'll go through that stuff tomorrow. If you do want to come back then, if you can like the live stream and all that, it's super helpful. It supports the channel. If you want props.cash, 25% off if you do use code LYB24. I'll just bring that up real quick. So if you do want to use this code, you can go ahead and get 25% off that. Discord link in the description of the video. So that should help you as well if you want to get in there, having a good time looking at that stuff. I will be back with a video tonight for tomorrow. I promise. I missed yesterday. I needed a little mental break there to cool the jets. And now we're going to get back into it here for tonight and get real deep into those 2 games tomorrow. Pause. So just keep it going, man. I appreciate you guys being in here for real. It's been a good time. I will be back later, back tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. So jump in till I see you next. Happy betting.